Classroom Dynamics is supported by Logitech. As education continues to evolve, so does Logitech Education, your partner in content creation for the classroom. With Logitech's cutting-edge technology, students not only learn, but also become content creators. Whether it's in person or online, Logitech's tools are designed to inspire educators and learners alike. Logitech Education, inspiring the next generation of creators. For more, visit logitech.com/education. Transforming classrooms, one innovation at a time. Every classroom has the potential to be extraordinary, and the Logitech Reach adjustable content camera is your partner in making that happen. With its flexible arm and clear video, you can now showcase everything from detailed drawings to live experiments, ensuring that every student is engaged and involved. Whether you're teaching in person or online, Logitech Reach helps you connect with your students in a whole new way. Ready to take your lessons further? Visit logitech.com/reach and elevate your classroom to a whole new level. Welcome to Classroom Dynamics, Bits and Bytes, the podcast within the podcast where we explore cutting-edge technologies for your classroom. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Adam Todd, and today we're diving into one of the most powerful creative tools in education today, Canva for Education. Now, if you've used Canva for personal projects before, you already know that it's intuitive, visual, and lightning fast. But the education version, well, that's on a completely different level. It's free for teachers and students, unlocked with classroom-safe features, collaboration tools, and hundreds of curriculum-aligned templates. But here's why teachers really should pay attention. Canva for Education isn't just another nice-to-have kind of application. It's actually research-backed. According to studies from the Learning Policy Institute and CAST's Universal Design for Learning framework, students learn best when they can represent understanding in multiple ways, engage visually, and of course, co-create meaning with peers. And let's be bottom line honest, it's actually kind of fun. I think sometimes we as educators forget that we need to create fun learning opportunities for our students. And unfortunately, sometimes the daily stress of covering curriculum and the time that we have to do it can take that opportunity away. And here's another big reason why you want to start using Canva for Education. The cognitive research emphasizes that when students create, not just consume, their learning becomes more durable. Now, Canva's drag and drop environment lowers the barrier to creation, allowing students of all kinds of skill levels to design, prototype, and publish their ideas. That translates to increased engagement, deeper ownership, and more authentic assessment opportunities. So what does this actually look like in practice? Let's look at a couple of examples. The first example I have is curriculum-aligned infographics. Imagine that your fourth graders are summarizing a nonfiction passage, not in paragraph form, but in a vibrant, well-structured infographic. Studies show that visual summaries can improve comprehension and recall by over 60%. And Canva provides templates that guide students through organizing ideas, choosing visuals, and communicating clearly, all while strengthening ELA standards around summarizing and text evidence. Now, the second example I have is student-made videos and animations. Kids love doing this. Canva's built-in video editor lets students storyboard, record, layer music, and add transitions, all without needing advanced editing software. Science students can create a video explaining the water cycle. Social studies students can produce documentary-style clips about historical figures. Media literacy, narrative skills, and conceptual understanding all in one assignment? Wow. And the last example I have is journals and portfolios in collaboration. So with real-time collaboration, students can build shared research journals or project portfolios. This not only supports the ISTE standards for knowledge construction and creative communicator, it also strengthens peer-to-peer feedback, executive functioning, and reflection. Teachers can track progress, leave comments, and assess learning in a far more meaningful way. Now, Canva for Education isn't just another tool, it's a pathway to more creative, personalized, and student-centered learning environments. And the best part, well, it meets students where they are, visual, digital, and collaborative. So if your curriculum feels like it needs a little boost, a bit of a spark, or if you're just looking for ways to increase engagement without adding hours of prep time, Canva for Education may be the simplest, most impactful way that you can make this happen for your kids this school year. Now, for more on ways that you can use Canva for education in the classroom, here are our Google Notebook language model hosts, Bits and Bytes.
Today, we're looking at a tool that probably lives in your browser bookmarks, Canva.
I think those people know it.
Most people know it for, generating a quick presentation, maybe some marketing stuff, or a flashy graphic for social media. But we are focused on something totally different.
Something much more consequential, really.
We're looking at Canva for education.
Right. And our mission today is to unpack how this specific suite moves way beyond simple graphics.
It really seems to transform K-12 classrooms into these hubs for, high-level collaboration and critical thinking. We're tracing how a design tool becomes a pedagogical powerhouse.
And it's all backed by some pretty robust educational research.
And here's the fact that just underpins this entire conversation, the thing that honestly shocked us in the sources.
The big one.
Canva education is explicitly and completely 100% free for K-12 teachers, their students, and any eligible districts.
Yeah, and the sources really emphasize this. This is a full commitment. No paywalls, no hidden premium features, and they say no nasty surprises.
That's incredible.
And what stands out right away is that this isn't just some, stripped-down free version. The resources we looked at show that the education plan includes almost all the premium features.
So you get all the unlocked assets, the templates.
All of it. Millions of them. Plus, you get these dedicated enterprise tools that are just essential for a school to operate securely.
What kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, think about the scale. You get administrative features like single sign-on, SSO, which lets a huge district manage thousands of student accounts from one place securely.
Okay, that's a game changer for IT departments.
Totally. And it includes dedicated onboarding, professional development for teachers, all of it provided at no cost. It's not just a program, it's a whole supported visual ecosystem.
That just immediately removes a massive barrier that so much other software faces in education, which is cost and deployment.
Exactly.
But for the average person, what's actually in this visual suite? If I'm a student, what's my toolkit?
Oh, the toolkit is vast. It's not just design templates. You get the full suite of modern productivity tools.
Yeah.
So digital whiteboards for brainstorming in real time.
Right.
Canva Docs, which is really cool because it lets you embed design elements right into a text document.
Yeah.
Data visualization tools for sheets, and of course, presentations and websites.
And the power of these, especially in a K-12 setting, has to be the accessibility. I saw it includes all those digital design favorites that let students show information in structured ways.
Like what?
Well, infographics for synthesizing data, custom reports, resumes, and the ability to quickly generate graphs and charts from, just raw numbers. It even has a PDF editor.
And if we zoom out from the screen for a second, the material also highlights the print design side. This is where the classroom connects to the real world.
You mean making physical stuff?
Yeah. Students and teachers can design professional-grade business cards, flyers, posters, and even merchandise like T-shirts, mugs, and labels.
So your school project could become a real-world artifact.
Exactly.
Okay, before we get into the fun pedagogical side, we have to talk about the essential but sometimes dry part, security and student data.
We have to. Especially with AI involved. Institutions need rock-solid assurance.
So what did the sources say?
They are crystal clear on this because this is the hinge for district adoption. Canva Education adheres to the most stringent global data privacy standards.
Okay, break that down for us. What does that mean?
It means it's compliant with FERPA, the big one in the U.S. that keeps student data private. It's compliant with COPIPA, which protects kids under 13 online, and even the European Union's GDPR.
Wow, so they've covered all the bases.
They have. And on top of that, it's a signatory of the National Data Privacy Agreement in the U.S.
That's a critical level of compliance. But what about the content? I mean, students are generating images and text. How do you keep that environment safe?
They tackle that with content moderation. It's a multi-layered system. It starts with machine learning that scans millions of assets to flag anything inappropriate.
And a human looks at it.
Exactly.
Ugly.
That data is then reviewed by human moderators. And for education users specifically, anything flagged as not safe for school is actively restricted or removed. It's a continuous process.
That is vital context. And for the teachers using it every day, I'm guessing the workflow has to be seamless.
It has to be, or nobody would use it. That's why they built direct integrations with all the major learning management systems, the LMSs.
So things like Google Classroom, Canvas.
Google Classroom, Canvas, Microsoft Teams, Schoology, D2L, Moodle, Blackboard, all the big ones. Teachers can create an assignment in Canva, share it directly, and then review and grade the student work right there in the system they already use.
It connects the creative part directly to the assessment part.
Yes, it closes the loop.
Okay, so we have a free, secure, integrated tool stack. Now for the core of this deep dive, why does using a design tool actually lead to better learning?
This is where we shift from the feature list to the pedagogy. And our notes show this approach is firmly rooted in cognitive and learning science. We're talking about frameworks from the Learning Policy Institute and, very importantly, CAST's Universal Design for Learning, UDL.
Okay, let's pause on UDL. That's a key piece of jargon. For anyone who isn't an educator, what is that?
So UDL is basically a framework for teaching and learning that's designed to work for all students. It's based on the science of how we learn.
And what's a core principle?
A core principle is providing multiple means of action and expression. The research is just unambiguous on this. Students learn better, the learning is more durable, when they can show their understanding in multiple multimodal ways.
Not just the traditional essay or test.
Exactly. And when they get to co-create meaning with their peers.
I see the connection. So if a student has to write a 5-paragraph essay, they're only showing one kind of mastery, traditional literacy. But if they build, say, an infographic or a video report, they have to synthesize data, think about visual hierarchy, create a narrative. It's a much more complex task.
Precisely. And the cognitive research confirms it. When students create something, that process demands higher-order thinking. You have to analyze, synthesize, evaluate, and that anchors the knowledge way more effectively than just passively consuming it.
And I'm guessing the tool itself helps here.
This is the pedagogical gold. The drag-and-drop environment lowers the technical barrier to entry, so students can focus their cognitive energy on the complex content, not on fighting with complicated software.
This is the perfect pivot to the integrated AI tools, the Magic Studio. Because my first thought is, doesn't that just do the work for the student?
That is the crucial question, and the answer is really nuanced. The sources show that AI is intentionally designed to be a pedagogical scaffold.
A scaffold.
Yeah, especially for students who are multilingual learners or ELLs, or for students who struggle with things like executive functioning.
Okay, give me an example. What about Magic Write, the text generator?
Okay, so take Magic Write. Let's say a history teacher asks a student to create a visual timeline about the causes of the French Revolution. Magic Write doesn't write the analysis for them.
It doesn't.
No, it acts as a guide. It might generate an outline suggesting section headers like social inequality, key data points, or the role of Enlightenment philosophy.
Ah, so it provides structure and vocabulary. It's like a writing coach, but it's not giving you the final product.
Exactly. It promotes what educators call productive struggle. It gives them the linguistic scaffolding they need to express complex ideas without removing the critical thinking part.
That makes sense.
Of course, you have to know that districts often limit these tools to students 13 and up, and that always needs to be checked.
Right. And what about the visual side? Magic media. How does that help a student who's struggling to understand a concept?
That's where it really shines. It helps students visualize complex or abstract ideas they run into while reading.
So if I'm reading a novel and it describes some kind of, I don't know, historical architecture I've never seen.
You can just ask Magic Media to generate a picture of it. You get immediate visual reinforcement, often several different examples, and that cements comprehension in a way a dictionary definition just can't.
And then they have to judge if the image is accurate, I suppose.
Yes, it integrates digital literacy right there. They have to critically assess the generated image for accuracy and bias.
Let's transition to seeing this in action across different subjects, because this is where it proves itself as more than just a tool for art class.
Let's start with math. Instead of static textbook problems, students can work on what the sources call the real-world math problem gallery.
Oh, okay. I like the sound of that.
Groups collaboratively create these visual posters for complex problems, but they're centered on everyday things like calculating sports stats or mortgage rates or cooking measurements.
And this taps directly into those UDL principles we talked about, right? It lets different students show their strengths.
Absolutely. A student with dyscalculia who struggles with numbers can focus on the visual layout and design the poster,
while their partner handles the computation.
Right. An English language learner gets to pair abstract math vocabulary with concrete images. And for accessibility, a student can record an audio explanation right onto the poster instead of writing it all out.
That turns a math problem into a multimedia pitch. Very cool. What about science?
In science, the traditional, often dry lab report becomes an interactive lab report.
Okay.
Students still use templates for the standard parts, hypothesis, data, analysis, but they bring it to life by embedding photos, videos of their experiment, time lapses, even audio commentary.
So it's not just a worksheet they hand in.
Not at all. It dramatically supports students who struggle with formal scientific writing. It gives them all these other ways to show their process and their findings.
Moving beyond academics, our sources put a huge emphasis on this tool for culturally responsive teaching and community building.
This connects directly to the work of Zaretta Hammond, which is all about integrating students' backgrounds and experiences into the learning.
How does the tool facilitate that?
Well, it enables authentic learning. In a civics class, for instance, students can do passion projects on a social cause that actually impacts their own community.
So they're not just researching something abstract.
No. They use the whole visual suite to design advocacy plans, informational videos, professional presentations. Then they might present them Shark Tank style to their peers or community members.
It turns a research paper into a real exercise in communication.
The critical thinking exercise, yeah.
There was a really powerful, specific example in our notes about this that I wanted to highlight.
Yes, the Pilsen mural example in Chicago.
Tell us about that.
Latino and Mexican-American students in Chicago analyzed these deep political murals in the Pilsen neighborhood to develop their rhetorical analysis skills, understanding argument, audience, message.
So they're analyzing art from their own community.
Exactly. Then they used the causes and cultural narratives from those murals to create their own protest signs and digital advocacy materials in Canva. It's a direct line from their cultural heritage to the analytical assignment.
That is such a concrete way to connect community to creation.
Right.
What about just, daily classroom collaboration?
For that, the whiteboards feature is key. Digital whiteboards are common, but Canvas has a unique function. When a student adds a sticky note during a discussion, their name automatically appears on it.
Oh, that's smart.
Isn't it? It solves the accountability issue you get in anonymous digital spaces.
Right. No one can hide. It becomes a transparent collaboration space.
It does. And for social emotional learning, we saw it used for something called empathy maps.
Empathy maps. That sounds like a business tool.
It is, originally. It's for understanding customers, but it's repurposed beautifully for the classroom. Students interview a peer, and then you create a map divided into 4 quadrants.
What are the quadrants?
They are: what does your partner think and feel? What do they see? What do they say and do? And what do they hear?
Wow. That sounds like a really intensive exercise in shifting your perspective.
It serves 2 purposes. It helps build community, for sure. But it's also a pre-writing tool for narrative and perspective writing. Students get structured practice in developing a character or a viewpoint that isn't their own.
And then I imagine they share them.
Yep. They can do a gallery walk to learn about the whole class. It deepens empathy in a way that goes way beyond a simple get-to-know-your icebreaker.
Looking for a smarter way to protect and use your tech on the go? The Higher Ground Gear DataKeeper Plus CS is built for action. Work directly from the case without ever removing your device. Stay organized with a built-in storage pocket for accessories, and rest easy knowing you've got serious drop protection designed for real-world classrooms and busy professionals. The DataKeeper Plus CS. Organize smarter, protect better, and work wherever you are. For more information, visit hggear.com today. Looking to spark excitement in your classroom and save time? Head over to Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers. From engaging lesson plans to creative lab books and test prep tools, these resources are designed to inspire learning and take the planning stress off your plate. Highly Motivated, motivating teaching resources that engage and inspire. For more, search Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers.
This whole deep dive has really shifted the focus. We started out thinking of Canva as just a poster maker, but it's clearly this deeply integrated, research-backed learning system that tackles huge challenges like data privacy, content security, and differentiation, all for free.
It really is a necessary transformation in how we think about K-12 tools. Canva moves from being a simple design utility to a true collaboration hub.
And a tool that empowers every learner.
Every single learner, regardless of their language or how they prefer to learn. It lets them show what they know, which naturally builds skills in communication, problem solving, and reflection.
So, what does this all mean for you, the learner? Whether you're a teacher or just curious about modern education, this deep dive shows that these accessible digital tools are shifting the entire focus.
We're moving from worrying about the efficiency of the design process to maximizing the effectiveness of the pedagogy. The tool serves the teaching, not the other way around.
We've spent a lot of time talking about how these free integrated tools let students create incredible digital content, infographics, reports, videos. But given that Canva also allows for designing and producing physical products, t-shirts, photo books, stickers, how might we rethink the final tangible output of student learning?
That's a great question.
How can we leverage that capability to celebrate their knowledge in ways that extend beyond the classroom walls and into their families and communities, truly cementing the value of what they've created? Something to consider until our next deep dive.
For more on Classroom Dynamics, follow us on X at Class Dynamics or on Instagram at Classroom Dynamics Podcast. And be sure to search Classroom Dynamics on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast shows.